Hey, good afternoon, everybody. We're just a tad early, but I want to go ahead and bring you in, and it's we've got something exciting going on. I don't know how much you know about best ball drafts, but that's what today's about. And best ball is a fun new game from. It's not new. I played last year, um, but best ball is like playing fantasy football. But the best part of best ball is that let me get into the draft because I got a draft going off right now. So best ball, you can just draft. You don't have to change your players during the year. I'll explain it more. But we're in a best ball draft now, live on the air on DraftKings, and we'll be going through it together here. I didn't expect it to start so fast. I got into it, thought it would feel a little slower, but best ball is a unique way to play fantasy football without the hassle of setting lineups. Basically, in best ball, you can draft a team and you never change it during the year, and I'll explain how that works. I have draft pick 7 in this best ball draft that's going on DraftKings right now. It's approaching my pick right now on the board. Alvin Kamara's still there at number 4, just went off. The guy picking in front of me is about to pick on the board Travis Kelce, Ezekiel Elliott. He takes Tyreek Hill. So I'm at number 7, and I have my pick between Travis Kelce, Ezekiel Elliott, Barkley, Jonathan Taylor. I'm going to go out of the rankings a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and take Barkley with my pick. So now we have Saquon Barkley on our team. So the way best ball work is you're just going to draft extra players, 20 players or so. You'll have 3 quarterbacks, 6 running backs, 7 wide receivers, and whoever scores the most points that week gets into your lineup automatically. So if you have, let's just throw 3 quarterbacks. You have Ben Roethlisberger, Matthew Stafford, and Tua on your team. You don't set your lineups. Whoever scores the most, that's who's your starter that week. No setting lineups. Drafts are really fast on DraftKings. It's 30 seconds per pick. I'm up in 7 picks. A little history about what happened. Well, McCaffrey went first, Delvin Cook second, Derek King third, Nick Chubb fourth, Kamara, then Hill, then Barkley, who I took. After that, Jonathan Taylor, Travis Kelce, Ezekiel Elliott. We're up in 6 picks now. So what you do is you pay. This league is a $3 one. Once I get it set, I can monitor it all year, but I don't have to do anything with it. The winner of this league gets a ticket into a $500,000 season-ending contest, which is, spotty at best. I like the ones that play money out, but I wanted to do it live here on the air. So we're coming up fast to us. Let's get on players. We picked a running back first. Second round, now we've got 4 picks to us. Top players on the board: Cam Akers, Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, Joe Mixon, Aaron Jones, Calvin Ridley. So running backs will run in best ball because you have to have so many, because you can't go in and just have lineups that check. So people tend to overdraft running backs quite a bit. I really would like Hopkins to make it to me in 2 picks. If Hopkins doesn't make it to me, which he does not, he goes off the board, I'm in 1 pick. I'm going to probably pick another running back. Top wide receiver on the board is Calvin Ridley, which would be nice. I'm being a Falcons fan. So Antonio Gibson goes off the board. You know what? I'm going to take Calvin Ridley. So now I have 2 players on my team. I have Calvin Ridley. I have Barkley. And again, the key, it scores just like fantasy football. 25 yards for a point, whatever. But the point of this is on Sunday, and I play in a lot of regular leagues. You get up, you set your lineup. But this is kind of like the lazy man's fantasy football. Now, where the strategy is a little bit different, if you have, there's a pretty good chance now that taking another Falcons receiver would make sense to me, because in a week that Calvin Ridley doesn't go off, you would suspect that a Kyle Pitts would go off, or a Russell Gage. Someone will go off. So Kyle Pitts really interests me now as a tight end. So I'm up in 8 picks, top players on the board. DJ Metcalf, Justin Jefferson. Where I'm looking at probably is down here in the Keenan Allen, Michael Thomas, top running back. If they get running backs, I'm going to be in trouble. Top running backs on the board right now are, we're only in the round 3. J.K. Dobbins is left, Montgomery's left, and DeAndre Swift. I have got to get a running back in the next 2 picks. You cannot leave best ball without at least 3 starting running backs. And like I say, it's so valuable because you don't set up your lineups that you just got to get bodies at some point. So we'll see. If I value the receivers that's on the board right now, I much value the receivers over those running backs. I may play a little risk here and go ahead and draft a higher ranked receiver. Only have 1 running back through 3 rounds of best ball. Kind of goes against the strategy. And in your regular fantasy leagues, I have a set rule that in your first 5 picks, you have 1 optional. You can take a tight end, best player on the board, but really you need to come out with 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, first 4 or 5 picks. 1 can be any position. If you want to take a risk, take a quarterback, take a tight end, that's your pick. You still got to come out of those 5 picks with 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers. So I'm 4 picks away, and the receiver squad has been dwindled down a little bit. The best player on the board, A.J. Brown, I would take, but I think he gets gone. Michael Thomas. If Michael Thomas, A.J. Brown top, Michael Thomas, Terry McLaurin's there, I might consider one of those. But Dobbins is really at his draft level, which is pick 32. I'm pick 31. We've already said they'll start running backs. I'm actually going to be surprised if Dobbins makes it to me. But there is a couple of options. A.J. Brown goes off. Let's see, the guy picking in front of me, he has 1 wide receiver, 1 running back. I bet money he takes Dobbins. If he does take Dobbins, I'm going to roll the dice a little bit and take Thomas and McLaurin. Also in best ball, no kicker, no defense, just offensive players. No drafting offensive players, no worrying about offensive players. So let's see. He takes Michael Thomas. I'm going to go ahead and do the smart thing and take J.K. Dobbins. All right. So I got Barkley and Dobbins. So whoever, my phone keeps warning. I'm picking on my other phone and keeps telling me it's my time. So I got 2 running backs. I got my starting, as you can look here. You can see, let me bring me up. You can hopefully see that. I don't know. I've got 2 starting running backs, 1 wide receiver. Now, where this differs from regular, look at all these bench spots. So you're going to have a ton of bench spots at the end of this draft. DeAndre Swift just went off the board. Top players on the board. I'm 5 picks away. Amari Cooper, Michael Evans, Miles Sanders, Rashard Wood, Josh Allen, Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts, I've already talked about having Ridley and Pitts in a best ball league. That's something I would not do in a regular league, but in a best ball league, okay, I accept it. That you can have 2 players from the same team, because it's almost betting that one of them doesn't go off, the other one has to. So if Ridley has a quiet night, Pitts has a great night. So it's always something a little different. So I didn't even share this out so you folks down the line, you'll be getting this in an hour. I can't really get to it to share out. So top players on the board, Josh Allen, who I'd love to have, Kyle Pitts. I'm going to go ahead and take Kyle Pitts. So that's my wild card because he fills my tight end position. So I just forced myself to follow my rule: 2 running backs, 1 wide receiver, 1 tight end. I have to take a wide receiver at pick 5. Okay, so I am 11 picks up. Let's look at the wide receiver board. So you got to figure at least 5 of them will be gone. So that probably puts me, my ideal situation, I would take Jamar Chase. I figure he's gone. Tyler Lockett. Deontay Johnson, if he's there, I would love that. And he's down 2, 4, 6, 8, 7 wide receivers. I am now 9 picks away, and that would be 7 wide receivers. Right now, the top ranked wide receiver on the board is Cooper Kupp and Jamar Chase, Tyler Lockett, Lamar Jackson. And I said the rule is 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 flex. I took a tight end with that flex pick. I've got to get a wide receiver. And then when you're drafting fantasy football, it's okay to make yourself some rules that say, I've got to do this, because that's how you win leagues, is balancing your roster. And again, in best ball, it's better to group teams together, like having a quarterback and a wide receiver that's together, like Matt Ryan with Calvin Ridley, Matthew Stafford with Robert Woods, having Patrick Mahomes with Tyreek Hill. It's okay, you know. I don't know if I love that in the yearly fantasy, but it's kind of okay for this. So problem is I forced myself into taking a wide receiver. That's my hard rule. And I don't like the wide receiver board. Let me just get over the wide receiver board. 2 picks away: Adam Thielen, T. Higgins, Kenny Golladay, Brandon Ayuk, Odell Beckham, Chase Claypool. The one I probably I'm going to take Kenny Golladay. And I don't love that pick, but now I'm free again. So my rule says I've got my 5 picks, 1 wild card, 2 running backs, 2 receivers. Now, I'm not going to do the same thing in the later rounds, but I do have a rule. For every pick that I make in the next 5 rounds, if I pick a wide receiver, the next round I have to pick. So I'm going to flip back and forth. But at the end of it, I'm still going to come out balanced. So, all right, here we go. Coming up to me in 5 picks. I've got my wild card if I want to take my quarterback now. Yeah, I've got running back or receiver open. Tight ends closed out. I'm not going to take another tight end for a while. There is 1 running back of value on the board. That is Kareem Hunt, who is a backup in name. He comes off the board. Tough pick. Right now, quarterbacks getting thin too. Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert, best quarterbacks on the board. Tight end just probably dropped a tier. Let's see if. Okay, my pick. Robbie Anderson, Russell Wilson, Chase Edmonds. I like Robbie Anderson, but I'm going to go ahead and get my first quarterback. I'm going to go ahead and take Russell Wilson there. That's a tad early for quarterback, but they're running quarterbacks right now, and I don't want to get caught without one at least top-tier quarterback. Again, also in best ball. No kickers, no defense. All right, so you're going to start each week. Your lineup will be, you'll start a quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and a flex. And this is all done. So the question about the flex, somebody asked in the comments there, how do they determine the flex? All right, so your quarterback, you take your 3 quarterbacks. You only play 1 quarterback, and the quarterback can't be flex. So if you have 3 quarterbacks, Only one of them will be able to be played. So your quarterback is out of the flex option. So you feel your DraftKings will do it for you. They'll fill 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end. Your next highest player, regardless of position, would be your flex. Now, that flex can be a tight end. It can be a wide receiver. It can be a running back. It doesn't matter. DraftKings will do it automatically. Say my tight end outscores everybody else other than my other starting tight end. So you have a tight end score 40 and your second tight end score 38. Well, that would have probably been wasted in normal fantasy football. But if nobody scored higher than 38, your tight end will go into flex. So I'm 5 picks away, and I'm a little confused. Let me look at my lineup. I still need a receiver. I have no backup running backs, and I'm still missing 1 starting wide receiver even. I am 2, 4, 6, 7, 5 picks away. If I don't get a running back here, it's getting really thin. Chase Edmond, Trey Sermon, Leonard Fournette, Michael Carter. Wide receivers still got some people. I think I could get a running back and then come back and get someone like Taj Boyd maybe or DJ Shark. So we're going to roll the dice and probably take a running back here. They tear off really fast. After this group here, it tears bad. All right, so the rookie Trey Sermon from Ohio State, I'm going to take him. So now it's one of my running backs gone. I'm up in 10 picks. And I really need to get a receiver. I've been 3 picks without a receiver. So, and there's leagues for $1, $3, $5, $10, $20, $500, $10,000. So you can find a league that fits your need. Now, why do I play best ball? I do play some season long. Matter of fact, I probably got myself overcommitted for season long right now. I like to play only a couple of season long leagues, but I like to play multiple leagues. So with best ball, I don't have to worry about setting lineups. I don't have to deal with it. After this draft, I'll look in and just check my results every week. Now, I love season long, but it is so mind-numbing at times. I just want to take that out of it. So by doing this, I can still play 10 or 12 leagues, but I'm not setting my lineups. Plus, it frees me up on Sunday mornings. I don't want to be sitting there fiddling with a bunch of season-long leagues when I really want to be playing DFS. All right. And plus a good thing about this is 30 seconds a pick. Once you miss a pick, it puts you on auto draft, so it goes fast. So we'll have this team picked in probably another 20 minutes or so. All right, wide receivers, top on the board, Michael Gallup, Mike Williams, Laviska Shenault, Brown, Landry, Cooks, Waddle. Curtis Samuels, a player I love. Tip, write it down. Season long, everything. Curtis Samuels in Washington. That might be a bomb. Am I going to reach that far from Curtis Samuels? Am I going to? Now, there also comes a point in fantasy football. If you believe in somebody that strong, you take them. But I'm telling you, I kind of still prefer Laviska Shenault over Chris Samuels. My next pick is in 12 picks. I'll not get Curtis Samuels. But now, if I pull up my team, I have a complete and balanced lineup. So I've got some flexibility again. At least I have one player in every position. And I still got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 bench spots to fill. So still a lot of work to do. Now, another thing about best ball I like, if you'll pay the $20, it gets you a ticket into the year-end 1.5, 1.6 million contest. Last year I got in it. I done terrible, but I won one of these best ball $20 leagues, and the next week I was eliminated. You've got to win like 4 weeks in a row. But you've got, so I almost feel like it's timing of the draft. So let's talk about that. Right now, probably a lot of people are like, just play drafting. Like, I don't care about the $10 I'm going to win off of this league. I mean, $10, $10. I'll take it any day. But this, instead of doing a mock draft against a computer or against a bunch of people that don't care, I know I'm getting to see a real draft kind of take place. And that's valuable to me, because then when I go to my league I'm going to win this year's draft, yes, I said it, Robbie Davis. I'll tell you that on 3 R's tonight. I've already drafted multiple leagues against multiple players, multiple abilities. So this is kind of my strategy this year, to be a little more in tune. That league is so crazy. On draft day, though, it's just it's hard to judge. I just pulled up the board, and Jalen Waddles, Melvin Gordon, Curtis Samuels, Mikael Hardman is still on the board. I am 2 picks away. I would be so shocked if I get Curtis Samuels after passing on him last time. Like, I literally thought, I'm not getting him. So if I do go Curtis Samuels here, I am forced probably to go running back soon. Curtis Samuels gets drafted right in front of me. Thanks a lot, buddy. Thanks. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna do something a little different here. I'm gonna seal up every Falcon score in the air. I'm gonna take Russell Gage. So in best ball, I now have the Falcons receiving corps. I have tons of other wide receivers, but on the weeks that the Falcons go off, I'm good. I may even look at, I don't know if Matt Ryan's gone, but as a backup quarterback, I may even take Matt Ryan. Hey, I am wearing my Falcon stuff. So how have y'all been today? Hey, let me recommend something for you. A couple of podcasts I want to recommend. The first one is the Off the Center podcast with my boys from iLogic, Richard Jasper and everybody. Kind of started watching this podcast. If you do sports collecting, it's absolutely one of the best podcasts to do. Watch. Now, I really enjoy it. The other one is more of a Nashville music scene podcast. And it's not a podcast you want to listen to around your kids, language and stuff. But there's a podcast that I've been listening to that's called Just Being Earnest. It's Ernest is a Big Loud songwriter. Big Loud is the publishing house that has Morgan Wallen, Hardy, a lot of the young country stars. Ernest is a performer himself, but he's better known as a let me get back to that one in just a second. Let me look at my running back situation here. My pick's coming up. All right, there's a definite tier here. Zach Moss, the next tier is Troy Pollard. 1 pick away, Zach Moss is on the board. I am taking Zach Moss no matter what. Okay, so now I'm starting to feel really good about my my running back situation. So I'll get back to Just Ernest because I want y'all to try that podcast. All right, I need to get a backup quarterback. I now have 4 running backs, Barkley, Dobbins, Sermon, and Moss on my roster. And I know Moss splits time, but in this form, a guy like Moss who could go off a week and have 120 yards is of value. You don't have to start him every week, so when he does go off those weeks, it's great. Wide receivers, I've got my starting lineup would be Ridley, Galladay, Chenault. On my bench, running backs Sermon, Moss, and wide receiver Gage. I need to do some work on. Definitely need to do some work on receiver. Need to do some work on a backup quarterback. Really want to get out of here with 3 quarterbacks if I can. I am 9 picks away. see some people that interested me. Matt Ryan's still out there. Justin Fields. Don't sleep on no Justin Fields this year. Running back looks horrible. I'm going to grab a couple more later on. It's nobody that I covet. The top ranked receiver is somebody's going to get a steal. Darnell Mooney from Chicago. My Samuels and Mooney is my number 1 and 2 sleepers. So somebody's going to pick him up. Top quarterback on the board is Trey Lance. So they pass Mooney and go get Hunter Henry. Just Being Earnest is filmed in the Big Loud building. Hardy's been on some episodes. Jelly Roll, the rapper from Nashville, has been on a few episodes. It's kind of a younger group of, and I'm a metal guy, but I love hearing these guys talk about their art, their business, and stuff. And if you've not listened to Jelly Roll speak, then you're missing a great public speaker. Ernest is truly funny. Podcast Just Being Earnest. So those are the two I've been listening to a lot. The Off the Center podcast is my boys. I love that show. Now, they're in the Michigan area. I know I got a lot of listeners up in Michigan. And they're going to give me Mooney and 2 more picks. I'm absolutely going to explode with happiness. Because, that makes no sense why they keep passing on him. They've been 5 people. This guy's on auto pick, and it's probably going to take Mooney. So let me work. Ryan Fitzpatrick. 1 pick away from getting It takes Marvin Jones. I'm going to take Darnell Mooney. Wow, y'all just gave me a great wide receiver at that value in the 11th round. Off the Center card show they're from Michigan, so my Michigan folks, if you want to talk sports, they also have another podcast that's, I think, associated with it, Speakeasy 330 podcast. Those guys are on their stuff. They do it for the right reasons. And again, we're just having some fun tonight. We're hoping to come back with a coach next week with Howie. Howie was going to be with us. I don't know. Today, I just wanted to sit here and talk to everybody, and we didn't have a coach lined up, so I told Howie I'd just do a best ball draft. I've been wanting to do this anyway. Matt Ryan just went off the board. Best quarterback on the board. I'm going to take a quarterback if he's there. I'm going to take Justin Fields, which I've took a ton of. I just feel like that's a great place for Justin Fields in Chicago. So we're into round 12. We're 30 minutes in. Hey, and this is Off the Record with Randall. I hope you're enjoying this. I do solo episodes every now and then. Just come on here and talk to you for a while. They're not the best received, probably the lowest view of Off the Records. Sometimes I just like to do this. I just get on here and rant. And I had my friend the other day ask me how I talk for an hour straight. If you've been around me, you know talking an hour straight is not a big deal. All right, so I'm up. Highest ranked quarterback on the board is Kirk Cousins, and I hate this pick, but I'm going to take it. So now I've got 2 quarterbacks, so I can relax a little bit. But yeah, talking an hour for me is like not a hard deal. Also, I want to get some feedback. I've been thinking about doing some different kind of podcast. You know, I've had some life experiences that I would like to get on here and share at some point. You know, went through a car wreck where I had a near-death experience. I'm a recovering addict, which, you know, I don't think I've ever made that a secret to anybody. We live in anonymity, but been sober a long time, so I couldn't imagine drinking at this point, but I did have my battles when I was younger. And my fantasy baseball league is going through the Dynasty League. It's going through its mid-season amateur or draft after the the draft, and that's been fun too. And their guys are drafting right now, and just hope they get picked up so I can get my next pick at some point. Big fat guy sitting here. Tevin Coleman goes off the board. 6 picks away. Evan Ingram, Rashard Bateman. I mean, it's getting thin now. It's go find people you believe in. And I'm going to look around here. Round 13, Ingram, he won't be there. But I would take him. Let me look at my roster. Do I have 2 tight ends? No, I just have Kyle Pitts. So 3 picks away. Gronk's out there. That wouldn't be terrible. I can always take a wide receiver. Let's see. Is there a running back? Oh, yeah, there's a running back I like. There went Gronk off the board. My pick. I think the running back will be. Will he be there next time? I gotta make a pick. I think he will be. So I'm going to take. You know what? I'm going to take Baker Mayfield and finish my quarterbacks out. All right, done at quarterbacks. So I've got 3 quarterbacks. Let's make sure they're different bye weeks. Yes. My 3 quarterbacks are Russell Wilson, Kirk Cousins, and Baker Mayfield. Done. I want to get a tight end, probably 2 wide. I have 2, 4, 6, 7 more picks. A tight end, minimum, hopefully 2. And I would like to have at least a couple more running backs. Is my secret running back I stat? Yeah, I think he's going to make it back to me, and I'm probably going to take him here if he gets back to me. 6 picks out, top running backs. J.C. McKissick, White, Philip Lindsay, Chuba Hubert, Gio Bernard. Who I'd like to take is Philip Lindsay in Houston. I just don't think David Johnson will hold that job. And while it's not a high production guy, I'm not making great picks here. Philip Lindsay, I think, will have a chance. Just went off the frickin' board. Wow. I guess I got burned on doing that one. Let me see. The highest ranked player is James White at running back. A lot of quarterbacks coming up now. Up in the next pick. And I'm going to go ahead and take James White because I think that would be 5 running backs for me. That makes me feel pretty good about my running back position. Let's see, White, Moss, Sermon, Barkley, Russell. By week 10, week 8, yeah, I'm in good shape. If I see somebody I value, I definitely will take them. We'll take at least 1 running back at some point. But it looks like I'm going to hammer receiver and tight end for a little while. So how's everybody been today? Man, it's so hot here. I'm going crazy. Everybody getting ready for football season? I am. I'm excited. Like, I'm 5 weeks from being on the air. Also, if anybody out there wants to sponsor Sequatchie County football, believe it or not, my second biggest listening market is in Dunlap. I just know so many people in that town. If you want to sponsor Sequatchie County football, give me a yell. Give me a Facebook shout. I'll hook you up with a deal. It's way more affordable than most ways of advertising, and I will make sure the word gets out. Also, I want to, while we're doing this, and I don't plug people a lot on here, but I want to plug a couple of things. One is Evitt Pitching Academy, Trevor Evitt. And somebody give him a call, give him a chance. Let this kid work with your kid. He knows what he's doing. I have a feeling he's going to be a very good instructor. He and I talk a lot. We have definitely the same philosophies on pitching. So if you're looking for something to make your son better, please do. Please call Trevor. Call Trevor. Here's his number. I'll steal it up there. 423-504-3198. Again, Evitt Pitching Academy for your ERA. All right, 2 picks away. And it looks like, let's see that tight end list. Ooh. Do you want to take a flyer? Because I think I am. A year ago, this guy was one of the top 5 tight ends off the board. Now he's going in the 15th round. They say they're not going to trade him, but I still think Zach Ertz ends up somewhere he's going to be playing. So he's still there. I'm going to go ahead and take Zach Ertz if he gets to me. 1 pick in front of me. Zach Ertz is taken. So now I have 2 tight ends. And I may go ahead. Well, there's a lot of tight end value right now. A lot of tight end value. So, again, back to Trevor. Trevor Evitt pitching, 423-504-3198. Now, the other thing, if you know somebody looking for a job, I want you to go to, excuse me if I'm off camera, I'm trying to type. Okay, this is where I work, Mon Hummel. It's in Dunlap, in the industrial park. You go to Mount Hummel right now, we are hiring. If you'll go in and you can put an application in, no one will hassle with you or bother you. Just walk into the front lobby, application's there, fill it out, put it in the mailbox. We're hiring Mount Hummel in Dunlap, Tennessee. Please, please consider, if you're looking for a job and in the Dunlap area, come see us. I mean, it's a great place. I've been there 10 years. How can I say anything bad about a place I've been 10 years? So it's a good work environment. I mean, give it a chance. It's a good place. Again, and our boy Trevor Evitt. So, and if you come over to Dunlap and put in your application, let me know. Let me know so I can go to HR for you. We are looking for people, wanting people right now. The auto industry is kicking off, and things are going well. So I'm almost up. I had 3 picks. I'll be up. Top ranked players on the board: Christian Kirk, Jacob Myers, Sammy Watkins. How can you not take Sammy Watkins in this format? Sammy Watkins will miss 8 games, play 3 games without a catch, and have 2 games where he goes for 220 yards. We'll plug one more thing when I get off from here. Don't let me forget. Somebody send me a message if I don't say something. Again, I enjoy this. Hope your fantasy team. So when is everybody else's drafts? My drafts are coming up. It's the weekend before Labor Day when we're having our drafts. That Saturday I'll have my in-person draft. That Sunday we do a phone teleconference with some people it's kind of all over the world, well, not over the world, all over the U.S. So, all right, this is starting to wind itself down. So I want to talk about one other thing tonight. I want to know what everybody thought about the home run derby and the story. And if you tune in to 3 Hours Sports here in at 9 o'clock, we're going to talk about the Trey Mancini story. We're going to go through that. Boy, that was a little bit of a disappointment. We all wanted to see Shohei go off. Again, I didn't think he would win it, but I thought he would hit some kind of monster 50-foot home run. But he kind of struggled in that environment. It is a different environment. But I had fun watching that last night. Pete Alonso is such a beast. I'm sure Chappie and I will be talking about that this week too. And again, recap the shows. This is the off week for the music show. So next week, we will have ZZ Top Fandango on the Trailer Park Music Review. Tonight at 9 o'clock, 3 Hours Sports with Raj Bata, Robbie Davis. We've got a little bit of everything. But one of the neat things we're going to talk about tonight is, listen to this. Which of your teams would you want to win a title right now? So with me being a Vols fan, football, basketball, Vols baseball, Braves, Falcons, Hawks, one of my teams could win one more championship. Who would I pick? And I texted Robbie during the week, and when he brought this subject up, and I was like, wow, that's actually very, very, very interesting, because my first reaction, and everybody would assume Tennessee wins a football national championship. My gut reaction was, I think Tennessee winning a men's basketball championship would be the thing that I most wanted to see. In my heart, I really want to see the Falcons win a Super Bowl. We were 10 minutes from it a couple years back. Didn't happen, but it still bothers me. God, still. It just eats at, if you're not a Falcons fan, everybody holds up those 28-3 things. You think it eats at us. It doesn't eat at us. It's just frustration. Like, man, we were there. We had it. And Atlanta has been long suffering as football city, as the least say it. And I like to see anybody that's a fan. I'm up in one more pick. Boom. Well, you just took my pick. So even though I need wide receivers, Tariq Cohen is there. I'm going to take him. He's a running back with a chance to make some catches. What was I talking about? Anyway, I'll get back to it. Whatever it was, it'll cross my mind again. But yeah, it was like, oh, Falcons Super Bowl. It's just frustrating more than anything that you were that close and you won. I've seen the Braves win a world championship. Tennessee Vols win a national championship. And I knew, there's people out there that's Alabama fans that saw them win 10. Man, I don't care. This is my school. It's where I went to school. 1 title, 5 titles, 20 titles. I'm still a Tennessee fan. I know that night in the desert, I got to cry my eyes out. I was so excited. But I really would like to see the men's basketball team win a national championship. And I guess we'll find out here in a little while what I finally decided. I don't know if I have decided. We'll go ahead and take Van Jefferson here, the wide receiver from the Rams. We're getting low on picks. These take a little less than an hour. I've been on here 45 minutes. I came on just a little early. Let's just recap my team real fast. Quarterbacks, Russell Wilson. Kirk Cousins, Baker Mayfield. Running backs, Barkley, Dobbins, Sermon, Moss, White, and Cohen. Wide receivers, Ridley, Galladay, Chenault, Gage, Mooney, Watkins, and Van Jefferson. There's a lot of tight ends on the board. I got 2 more picks. I'm just going to see if they happen to be a tight end I think is worth a pick. One of my sleeper tight, my buddy, shout out to my buddy Chappie. He loves Freiermuth at Pittsburgh this year. But actually, the sleeper tight end I like the best is probably Dan Arnold going over from Arizona to Carolina. I think he could have a nice year. Not 1,200 yards and 150 catches, but he might be one of those guys that's going here in the 19th round that could have 60 catches, 600 yards, 4 or 5 touchdowns. And if you're in a fantasy draft and you're this late, take a flyer on somebody that's got upside. So let me look at overall who's on the board. All right. Darius Mims, Amari Rogers. Boy, that's interesting. Of course, he's with the Packers. Is Aaron Rodgers going to be back? But don't see a whole lot. I'm going to take Amari Rogers as he's there. Surely if Aaron Rodgers ends up setting out, I'm sorely missed with this pick, but you've got to take chances. He ends up playing. Amari Rogers ends up being the second wide receiver in Green Bay. In the 20th round, I just got Green Bay's second wide receiver. I'll take that. Now, my last pick, Rodgers, Jefferson, Watkins. So I'm open to anything. I only have 2 tight ends. I'm telling you, I may just take a third tight end just to feel good about it. I went through all of this with one draft and got to the end of it and realized I took 2 tight ends and that's all I took, and they're on the same bye week. So you have to watch for that in here, especially because you can't drop one of them and pick them up later. Because once this is over, all the players that are on waivers, that nobody's at it the rest of the year. There goes my boy Dan Arnold. Freiermuth still there. I might take Freiermuth. I don't know. Let's look at everybody. So one last thing we'll cover before we get off from here tonight is when this is done, we'll recap it a little bit. Are you excited about sports opening up? Because I am. I'm crazy excited. AEW, wrestling that you hear about on this pod a lot, has had some shows out in general public. The Falcons are going to full. Let's see here. I got to make a pick. Tight end. Where's tight end? Hey, Chappie, taking your boy Freiermuth. So my team's done. Sports are opening up. High school football, full capacity. College football, full capacity. Pro football, full capacity. Major League Baseball, full capacity. Minor League Baseball, full capacity. But I noticed today there was a blurb in the paper about COVID cases up. So just, if you're sick, stay home. God almighty, man. Don't bring that stuff out. If you happen to catch it, just stay home with it. But I'm super excited about sports being out in the open again. Super excited to come on here and do this tonight. I missed the coach's interview with my friend Howie. That's a lot of fun. That's probably where this show is going to end up being. It's more of an interview show. And Howie's talked about joining us. Howie and I are talking about putting together another show, an AEW show that would be on every other week. Those shows get really good responses. We plan on bringing you a college football show. that I don't think I will be part of the cast. Tentatively named Stretch the Chain with Chain. I know Robbie Davis plans to be on that show. Brandon Chain plans to be on that show. We'll put that together the next few weeks. Chappie kind of revealed last week he's with Dr. Roto now, so Chappie has got big things going. Well, right now the plan is to stay there, but man, support your boy Chappie. Chappie is doing so great, such huge things in the fantasy community. The one thing we don't appreciate about Chappie is just how much he knows about baseball. If you care about baseball and you're a baseball man, I don't know how you live without listening to Chappie's podcast. And me, I truly had lost interest in baseball. But Chappie and I decided to do this together, and I knew that when we did the other angle with Chappie, that baseball would be a big part of it. He's like a savant of baseball. So I really have been forced to get back into the game at a level that I never had been at the game. So being around Chappie has really brought my baseball. It's a rough year to be Braves fans, though. Rough year. But I have paid more attention to baseball this year than I have in the last 5 or 6 years. And that's because of you, Chappie. And I do appreciate it. I don't know if you'll ever hear this, but man, you've made a difference in my viewing habits. So that's what we do this for. And, tonight I come on, it's kind of ho-hum. But I know everybody likes fantasy football. I want this to represent some kind of fantasy football. We've kept it really kind of, very sports related, very not comical sometimes, but there's a side of that to all of us. I'm sure some of that will come out too. I missed that part of it. The previous show I was on, we had a lot of comedy, and that was fun too. But we're going to focus this fall on football. More content than you've ever seen coming from River City Media. I'm planning on this show having the guys from I can't think of it now, but Off Center Baseball. I want to have them on here, or Off Center Card Collector. I want to have them on here at some point. Hopefully, we're going to start having them come through on a rotation. I talked today to our boy Mike Leach. He's going to be back with some recipes. We're going to do a live cooking show here in the next couple of weeks. A lot of stuff happening. Today was something I just wanted to do. Sometimes, I do this just so I can share my love of sports. I love sports. I love that we can get on here and we can talk sports. We can talk wrestling. We can talk music. And it's incredible. I cannot even go to tell you how many views that classic rock metal review show gets and comments, and it's ridiculous. No advertisement, not a dollar spent on it. Nobody knows about it except we put it on here. So anyway, that's all I've got for Off the Record this week. I hope you enjoyed doing that with me. It's a lot of fun for me. Be back at 9 o'clock with Robbie and Raj. Ton of stuff to cover tonight. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and plug it real fast. If I can remember the password to this phone. Well, I thought I remembered it. All right. I took notes somewhere. Maybe it's on that phone. Let's see if I can remember them. We're going to discuss what I said already, what team. We're going to discuss the penalty kicks from the England-Italy match. We're going to discuss the Braves after Ronald Acuna's injury. We're going to discuss, there was something else. Anyway, look at the agenda. It's down below. Look on River City Media. Look down one. You'll see it. But this is Randall from Off the Record, the owner of River City Media. I'm very serious about this, and we got very good content, good providers, working on some more partnerships. I think you're going to see another form come out that this is going to be distributed on. But stick with us. You'll have fun. Thank you for joining me for Off the Record. We'll see you in about an hour for 3R Sports.